Welcome back to the Pitch Pod, everyone. I am your host, Jeff Stebbins. Join with me, as always, this evening is my co host, Joe Janner. Joe, thank you so much for dressing up for the pod tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, thanks for recognizing the casual Friday gear. You asked how I'm doing. I said it's Friday. I got too many jobs here, Jeff, but I'm happy to be on the pitch pod. Looking forward to, did you say it? We're talking about the Champions League.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm saying. I love this time of year. And it's getting real, Joe. We got a lot of good teams left in this tournament, and it's going to be hard to make some selections, and it's hard to make predictions as it gets more and more competitive because just a couple goals here and there, a little luck can drastically alter the outcome. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to definitely catch these games as they come up.
And that is the game. I mean, it's about scoring goals. It's about going ahead and taking the lead and holding on to the lead, especially I think in these first leg one of two quarterfinals for the Champions League. I think everybody's got to go into it, especially those at home, those hosting, thinking they want to play it, on the front foot. They want to go and they want to make an impact or have an impact to go and score. It is the way that the game is won. Who can score the most goals to oversimplify? But that's something there. Like you said, I mean, there's 8 teams here left in this competition that are all quality sides. Now they get a chance to face each other. This first leg of 2, as I suggested there. And I mean, I don't know, Jeff. Do you think? I mean, of the 8 teams, is there anyone that's a front runner? Is there one that? I mean, you're looking at these last 8, thinking any one particular, or is it just really just going to have to see how this round goes?
I think that's a great question. And for me personally, I don't see that there's one team in particular, but I got my eye on 3, Joe, and you might be the same as me here. But I got Arsenal, PSG, and Man City that I'm looking at. I I would bet one of those 3 are going to be the ones that take it. Now, I don't know if you agree or not. And again, I don't have a single team as my front runner, but I got my eye on those 3. I think those are really solid clubs.
I'd agree. I mean, you have solid clubs throughout this here, the remainder of this competition. You're telling me Man City gets through Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid's tournament. That'd be a big, I think, series of events that would take place. I mean, we're going to get into each of these matches in this episode here. We're going to go through each one, talk a little bit about each, and make a prediction. But I mean, without getting too far into it and looking at it, I think let's go ahead and look at what we're facing or what is in place here for this round. If you're all right with that, Jeff, we have an Arsenal versus Bayern match. We have Real Madrid versus Manchester City. We have PSG versus Barcelona and an Atletico Madrid versus Dortmund. I mean, all of those awesome matches, awesome draw really for this contest. I mean, I don't know if you could have drawn anything that would made a more exciting round, especially for this leg one of the quarterfinals. So do you want to just go in order? Just go in the order that we have there, or is there anyone you want to look into first?
Yeah, no, let's just go in order. That sounds good.
I'm looking at the Arsenal versus Bayern. I'm looking at an Arsenal side that has performed well in their domestic league. They are at Brighton this upcoming weekend. They are hosting Bayern that did lose their last contest, a big loss to Dortmund. There they are. Imagine that, not leading the Bundesliga, but here they are in the Champions League quarterfinals, having to go away to start. I think that Arsenal set up, I mean, given everybody's available and they can go into this midweek fixture, Champions League, I think they're set up to do well on this. And I think that maybe, and I think most of the numbers that we've looked at or others have put out there that suggest they're the favorite. Jeff, do you have any other? I mean, do you look at this any other way that Arsenal's not the favorite? You mentioned it as one of your top 3.
I agree. They're in good form. It's at home for them. Bayern's dangerous. They have Harry Kane. And so, the fact that it's at Arsenal really kind of tips the scales for me here. So that's going to be the difference maker for me is the stadium that's being played in. And maybe a little bit of consistency too, because Arsenal's been pretty darn consistent. That's why they're one of the few teams at the top of the Premier League. They're not my vote to win the Premier League, Joe, but spoiler alert, I have Arsenal winning this game 1-0.
Okay, and I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, this is an uncharted territory for the Gunners in a sense that they are perennial or had been, and now have been some time off in Champions League and done well. But it's been a while since this club has found their way this far, since 2009, 2010 campaign where they had lost to Barcelona. But now here they are, new side. A lot of time has progressed, a lot different of a club, and they've developed them further. And we're talking about a young side with a young manager at home. Now, interesting enough, I got a similar goal differential, but I look at of these four, probably the most exciting in the sense that I have Arsenal winning this 3-2.
Oh wow. Okay. That would be exciting and similar goal differential. So yeah, we're both thinking it's gonna be a close match. So yeah, I agree, Joe. I think this is gonna be one of the better ones.
On to our next match on the same day, also on April 9th, Real Madrid versus Manchester City. Now, you almost more or less said it, that Manchester City is going to, as a favorite, get through there. But for me, no way. For me, no way. Real Madrid, in the way that they've been playing and how the lineup that they have. And Manchester City, yes, good, but not quite firing on all cylinders in the way that they could and should be. I just don't see them getting it done here. I have a Real Madrid winning this 2-1.
Okay. Real Madrid, solid club. Obviously, Vinicius Jr., dangerous from the left side. Bellingham, he's one of my favorite young players. So I get it. I get it. But, I just can't go against Pep. I can't go against the defending champions, KDB, Holland. Even Phil Foden's been stepping up. It's just such a deep team. I just can't go against them, no matter who the opponent is. So even though it is Real Madrid, and yes, historically it's their tournament, I'm going to go with a draw on this one, 2-2.
2-2. Okay. So still a good contest, probably good for them if they're going to get through. They're going to need a result, right? I think that's fair. If you're saying Manchester City is going to, a favorite and or possibly going to repeat and win this, they're going to need a good result here. I think the one thing for me when I'm looking at this fixture particularly is that La Liga, they don't play this weekend. That means Real Madrid doesn't or has more time, if you will, to rest and to prepare, whereas Manchester City now, again, at Crystal Palace, got to play. We know, it's the English Premier League. We know even a Crystal Palace side is just not going to roll over for Manchester City, right? And so that adds a little bit to it. So that's a little bit for me why I went the other direction. But I think should be a good game. I think maybe of the four, maybe I'm the most excited to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, no, those are valid points. And yeah, the rest is definitely going to be helpful for Real Madrid.
On to the next match. Now, this one will take place the following day. This will take place on Wednesday, April 10th. This is PSG versus Barcelona. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and start us out on this one? What do you think? PSG versus Barcelona. You got a favorite? You got a pick? Where are your thoughts on this one?
Well, when I think Barcelona, right away, I think Lewandowski, and there's a lot of good youth on that squad. Very talented La Liga club, and historically, they've always been very solid, along with Real Madrid. But I don't know. I don't know if this is the same caliber of Barcelona that we're used to seeing throughout the years, Joe. So, that might change the odds a little bit for me. And PSG is looking pretty good. They have this guy, I think his name's Mbappe, that he does pretty well on the pitch, Joe.
I agree. As an understatement, right? That could be a difference maker. I think that's a significant point to suggest. Though, again, I have to say it. This is the quarterfinals. There's a reason all these teams are here. There's a reason Barcelona's been able to put themselves in this position. There's a reason that, well, maybe for me at least, that I'm looking at Barcelona, maybe through a bias of them, consistently doing well in this competition or having that historical significance of being a good performer in this and having done it and won it, if you will. maybe why, again, also the fact that they, as a member of La Liga, they don't have to play this weekend. I mean, I think for them, if they go in there and they draw this, I think 1-1, which is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a 1-1 draw on this. That would probably be a great result for Barcelona.
I agree. I think that would be a great result. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it would be a great result. Being that this is at PSG, being that PSG has just been dominating, Mbappe, you name it. I got PSG winning this one 2-1.
That's fair. I think that'd be good for them. That would be good for anybody that's a real supporter of PSG. And I mean, did you say it? Mbappe scores one of those goals.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know what? Really, for the reverse fixture, Barcelona would still be in this. So, it could be worse for them if that outcome plays out. They're still in it. So,
All right. And last but not least, also taking place on that day, Atletico Madrid versus Dortmund. I'll have to say it again. I'll suggest it. The third of the three teams in La Liga, again, not having to play, being able to host a Dortmund side, doing well. Does have to face Stuttgart, a big game for them in the Bundesliga this weekend. Could also impact how this game goes. I do think that Atletico Madrid has done well. They're a good side. They're, I think, with a clear identity, and I think with the means and understanding of where they are in this competition. I have them being successful here. I have them getting the job done. I think we looked at it before. I think that was kind of the theme. What they did what they needed to do to get into this phase, to get to this stage, and I think that's going to be a theme for them. And I think that's going to follow suit in this upcoming match. I have by narrow margin, but again, that's all it takes. 1-0 to 0. Atletico Madrid wins this one. Jeff?
that's a great prediction. Yeah. And for some reason, I was thinking it was at Dortmund. So thank you for reminding me of that, Joe, because that would change the outcome. Atletico, solid. I'm glad they made it this far. I'm happy for them. Dortmund, solid club, lots of quality players, a couple American players that are very talented. So it's going to be another good match, and I can't wait to see it. But I'm going to agree with you on this one, Joe. I'm going to go Atletico winning this, and you had them winning 1-0. I'm going to have them winning this one 2-1.
Okay. Good scoreline, good prediction. Were we that far off?
So we had Arsenal and Atletico Madrid winning. All right. So hopefully that's the result that happens, and that'd be great. That'd be fun to watch. And really, Joe, I mean, I can't, if you had to tell, if I had to tell you which game I'm most excited for, I looking at this, I don't even know if I could tell you. They all look like great matches. I mean, maybe the Real Madrid one is the one I'm most looking forward to, but then again, I don't know. Arsenal going this far in the Champions League, it's been a while, so it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait.
And that's why we tune in. That's why we enjoy the Champions League, because of these type of upcoming games and these matches that we're looking at. So I'm excited. I know you are. Hope those that are listening, viewing are as excited. I hope they put some comments. I hope they make their own predictions. Right, Jeff?
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We hope you get a chance to watch these games and enjoy. And till next time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what we bring you here at the Pitch Pod, please do us a favor, hit that like and that subscribe. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Thank you, everyone, and keep pitching out there.
In a game, the round ball, round posts, anything can happen.